as you know, I know a lot about sports. And at one time when I was younger, I was thinking about going into sports casting until Don Shula yelled at me. This is a true story. So I'm teaching high school in Opelika, Florida, Pace High School. And right next door, the Miami Dolphins, undefeated that year, were training at St. Thomas Aquinas College. And me and another teacher used to sneak in to the press conferences, and I would ask a question. And I asked a question, and Shula thought it was stupid and looked at me, and I was all of 21, and said, "That's a stupid question." That was the end of my sports career. But one of the reasons I didn't go into sports broadcasting is because it's very difficult to really honestly report on athletes when you're so close to them. I can call Washington people pinheads, but I don't see them hardly at all. Guys covering the teams, guys like you have to interview these people, you see them all the time. So there's a portion in your book that I found unbelievably compelling where you interviewed Pete Rose during a Hall of Fame game or something. Pick that story up.
Well, it was game 2 of the World Series in 1999. The Braves were at home playing the New York Yankees, and it was the all-century team that had been named by a credit card company, and baseball had given up control, and they allowed the fans to vote. The fans voted Pete Rose back onto the field for the first time in 10 years after he had signed away his banishment for gambling on baseball. So obviously, it was a huge ceremony. Ted Williams, Sandy Koufax, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, everybody was there, and Pete Rose was allowed to participate as being the all-time hit king. So at NBC, we did the interview with Pete right after the ceremony, and I asked him about would he like to make some sort of an admission now that the American public was very forgiving, and would he like to take this opportunity to come clean of something that he had been in denial of for 10 years and basically had lied to the public about, so that he could maybe get back into the good graces of baseball and have a job and get into the Hall of Fame. Well, he didn't want to admit it then.
That's betting. We're talking about betting on games, so people know. You know, Rose bet on baseball games when he was the manager of the Reds. So you asked him, hey, do you want to apologize to the folks now and get this behind you? He didn't want to do that. And what happened to you?
Well, it got contentious, and it spiraled out of control. And then, the fans got very upset because they felt it was an intrusion on the ceremony and that it was the wrong time and the wrong place. But the questions had to be asked of Pete at that time. And so everybody got upset. The Yankees and Chad Curtis boycotted me the next night. He wouldn't answer a question about the game-winning home run. The fans got very upset, not only in Ohio and Kentucky, but across the country. And, there was just a ton of vitriol, and a lot of folks very upset with me, making all kinds of threats and calling in voicemails and sending in letters. And it just spiraled to the point where, it got very difficult. And the repercussions were not only felt by Pete, but also felt by me as to having asked him those questions. And this was pre-internet too, so there was no social media. And
thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
You'd probably be in Czechoslovakia, in the Czech Republic now. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. As you all know, the dollar is at a 10-year low, and November could spell real trouble. That's why I recommend you consider physical gold and silver, and the only company I do business with in this area is American Hartford Gold. You can call them right now. Make sure you tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they'll give you a free gold coin on your first qualified order. Since I have been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold's up over 40%, silver over 60%. So please don't wait. Call them now. 877-444-GOLD Gold. 877-444-GOLD Gold, or text GOLD to 65532.